Welcome everyone. Welcome to another preview. This is MetalCanyon, and we'll be checking out a game by Drago Entertainment called Treasure Hunter Simulator. There's been quite a few simulator games out in the recent years, mostly farming simulators and, various stuff like that, and also the Thief Simulator, for example, which I'm doing now. So a lot of these niche type of games which, fill out a niche by people with peculiar tastes, like mine, for example. I often get quite excited about various niche games, and I was also pretty excited about this Treasure Hunter Simulator. It's just a little bit different than your usual stuff. So let's continue the story mode, and yes, there is a story mode, and we'll see what's what. So basically, you are a treasure hunter, obviously, as per the title, and you've got your beautiful little a room where you store your treasures. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything you can really do with your room apart from just click on the, your monitor where you do everything and start missions, so to speak. But it is quite pretty to look at. And of course, back over there, you also put up your most valued treasures, or the priceless ones. So the way this game works is two phases. The first phase is this, where you select what missions you want to do, or maybe I shouldn't say missions, maybe I should say where you wish to go in the world. Now you open up the various places as you complete some important story missions. Here in the email, you get main jobs and side jobs, which are in essence quests, which will give you maybe some money, maybe some prestige, and prestige is pretty much experience. I do apologize, there's something in my throat. Anyway, here are the jobs. I have things I have already accepted. So this is the main one. This is the story one. Dear sir, I'm writing to you to follow up with the job inquiry sent to us in your name by Mr. Johann Schmidt. Currently, our organization is not looking for any contractors in the Aladze area, but if your resources allow it, we would blah 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 blah. Let's put it this way. The emails you will stop reading after the first mission because they're pretty much all the same. They go like, blah, 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 we're currently not looking for contractors, but here is a mission. And it doesn't actually say anything. It's just, here is what you need to do. Find the old lookout point near the castle and what reward you will get. And the side jobs are pretty much the same as the main jobs, except that they're, you don't really have to do them. Now, some of them will give you stuff like find the fastest route through the mountains. I hate these missions. I'll tell you why shortly. Another one, find the fastest route. Wait a second. Oh, it's the same. Wait, what? Currently looking for answer. What the heck is going on here? The Pernich and Crossing Mountains. These are the same thing in Slovakian Valley. I don't remember having two. Oh well. Find the fastest route through the castle, and obviously this is in a different place. And then you get stuff like this, for example. Well, you can also get, find an old lookout point or find a particular item. But you also get plant hunts, where you get attachments and you see what plants you have to photograph. So before I go into more of that, there's also a slight RPG element to this. You have money and you have detectors. Now this is all of the RPG really that goes on. In order to unlock various detectors, the better ones or different ones, you need to get a certain amount of prestige. So for example, for this one I need to unlock level 4 prestige, which I'm halfway to. And of course I also need the money to actually buy it afterwards. You can only have one of these detectors equipped at a time on a mission. So, if you want to look for something small on a mission and you have this one, Pathfinder B, equipped, tough luck. You're finding large stuff. And of course, you have shallow, middle, deep, and these beginning ones only go to shallow depth, while these next ones go to, shallow and middle, and then the last one just goes everywhere, pretty much. So, obviously, this is the one you want. And here's the collection, where you have collected all of your items, and you can also sell them. We'll do that in just a bit. So let's go to this new place that I haven't been to yet. Let's go to this new place, Tenzin Castle. is located near the village of Rudno in southern Poland. The castle fell into ruins the last time in the 18th century. Now, this is pretty cool. Let's travel there, and while it loads, this is pretty cool. The game will give you a fair bit of historically accurate-ish information. So if you're interested in, historical facts, then this is pretty cool. Also, all of the items you will find will have some sort of a historical description to them. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat touch. So the first thing you will notice is that the game actually looks fairly nice. In fact, I think this is the prettiest map I've seen so far. I haven't been on this one yet. That's pretty cool. Hello, Mr. Wood. You have your map, which you have to bring up this... oops, I did that. Oh well. You have to bring up your tablet up for. And this is the area where we can go. Let me actually make this a little bit quieter, because it's a little bit loud. Still, okay. The good news is that the music is fairly nice. It actually reminds me a lot of Skyrim and Morrowind and such. It makes me feel like we're playing, one of those RPGs. I do apologize about that. So, there is thankfully a toggle run option in the game, because really there is no point in walking through the map. Unless you really want just to take it completely casually. But considering that you do have to hold your W key to actually move, you'll be holding it a lot. So, the point of the game is you run around and you search for items. Now, it's not a case of, I have done research that this particular item is here and here. Well, maybe in some missions, but in a very limited fashion. I'll explain that in just a bit. You run around until you get the little blip from your detector. I'll show you that in a bit. Now, some missions, once you dig at a particular item, and they say that they have found some, evidence from the past, which will hopefully show you where this artifact should be. And usually they will give you a picture of something ambiguous, like this rock. And then you have to find that on the map to actually find that. Now, this will go hand in hand with finding items. And I will explain that in just a moment. I know I've been saying I will explain this in just a bit forever now. But I want it to, to come all together, and it will make sense. So, the maps are pretty cool. The ambience is pretty cool. The music is quite nice. It actually differs from map to map, so that's pretty nice. There's not just, a couple of tracks for the entire bloody game. I'm not finding anything. Now, one of the reasons is that I am using a detector for large items, of which, there will be less of than small items. Where am I, actually? Am I going completely off the road? I need to go back. Okay. So the nice thing is, when you open up the map, the game actually tells you where you've been walking. So if you want to completely scour an area, crisscross it, you can do that. Of course, it's going to be a little bit tedious, and I have a feeling you're not going to want to do that after a while, but, that's how it is. So let's go this way and try to find any actual items that I can show you how it works, how the detection works. There's nothing here. Now, at the moment, there are only metal detectors available. You cannot really equip anything else. Now, I'm not going to claim I am some kind of a, actual treasure hunter or have experience in it. I have never done this. I don't really have that much interested in it, I suppose. So I don't really know what exactly goes into an actual treasure hunt, like some people do. They go into the beaches with their metal detectors and such. I don't know if they have any other equipment with them. I don't know, what differentiates just casual treasure hunters and the really, serious ones. Maybe those have some, I don't know, maybe they have some ground-penetrating radars or something. I don't know. That would be probably pretty expensive. We're not finding anything at the moment, which... Oh, that's because I'm back here. How the heck did I do that? I do apologize. Let's That's another reason why toggle run is quite important in this game. Right. Let's go back here and try to not to miss the fork to the left, which should be close by here. But yeah, that can happen sometimes. When I upgraded from a small detector to a medium detector, actually from a medium to the large detector, I was like, yeah, now I'm gonna make some serious money. And then suddenly, I was making no money. In fact, I made 0 money on one of the missions because I found nothing. Well, I found one thing, but it was bugged, so I could never get to it. So that was nice. But yeah, again, if you haven't figured it out, this is a walking simulator and nothing, you know, there's not going to be anything horribly exciting that happens. There's a castle. It does look quite nice. I do have to say that. There's a few details here and there. Water doesn't look that great in any of the maps, to be completely honest. There's also a few map errors here and there with some rocks, you know, floating above the place, or you being able to see through the world. But there's nothing major. Now, the reason I'm not running along that route, there we go, is because this has sort of a, you know, circular area where it detects stuff. So when you detect something, you press your right mouse button, which will bring out your metal detector. We're very close to this thing. So, but you can still move around with the metal detector and then move the actual detector around with the mouse. But if you look down on the bottom right, the easiest thing to do is just find the X and Y. So you can see this is the Y-axis where, or the Z-axis, I suppose, where the signal is highest, and then we just move here. It should be here. There we go. So it's here, and we can left click to start digging. So digging works like this. It's click, wait, click, and then wait, and then click, and then wait for the animation to finish, and then click to gather. I have no idea what we've gathered because it didn't actually appear. Large items don't seem to appear in there. Oh, look, it's another hook. So now that we've found an item, we can rotate it. That's pretty nice. All of the items are 3D. And this one seems to be in pretty good shape. We have to identify it first. So I thought to myself, oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to like look for markings and, you know, zoom in and stuff like that. So I clicked identify. And the guy first sprays it with some kind of a either compressed air or cleaning solution or something. I don't know what they would use, you know, in order not to destroy whatever they found. This is a modern hook, not worth much, most likely used for packaging or just hanging various materials. There's a few typos in here as well. And the value is $22. I think in the day after the release of early access patch, wait, is it early access? I forgot. Sorry, I'll check it. They've increased the value of these items a little bit because usually they were like $11 and, you know, barely worth anything. So type treasure. Not really sure how this is treasure. Rarity rare. Not really sure how this is rare. Metal is iron and condition is good. And take. And that's it. You've got it. Now let me put it this way. I understand that this is a casual game, but I think this was a huge missed opportunity with the identifying mechanic. Now, how awesome would it be if, in order to identify a weapon, what am I talking about? In order to identify an item, you would find it first, obviously, with a metal detector. Hopefully, you know, having to do some research as to where, you know, the item's location would most likely be. Perhaps there was a war there and, you know, there's some helmets strewn about or something. But I'll show you this in just a moment. But I think it would have been much, much better if you actually had to identify the item yourself. So, for example, maybe you would have some sort of a book or some stuff on your PDA with you. Ooh, what is this? Some kind of a vase or vase. And, you know, you would have to figure out what kind of a metal it is. You would have, like, check marks. You could click, okay, this is a vase of some sort, or a pot. What kind of metal it is. Maybe you'd have some sort of material testing kit with you that you could check it for. You know, and stuff like that. And then cross-reference the material, the shape, and stuff like that with what kind of a time it was from, what kind of an era. I think that would be awesome if you actually had to do it yourself. But basically what happens is you find it, you click identify, you don't even have to read the historical facts if you don't want to. You just go, oh, okay, this is $31, let's go. You know, it's just, why? Everything is automated. It would be really awesome. I was really actually excited when I first started playing this about having to identify items. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cross-reference stuff in the game. Obviously nothing hardcore, just, you know, give me some like information in books and that you can cross-reference. Anyway, let me talk about that mission that we got, the side job about collecting plants, or, well, taking pictures of plants. The first time I got a mission like this, I clicked on the attachments and I thought, oh, cool, so I'll have to be on the lookout for these types of plants. So all three are white. These guys have sort of red fruit. You know, and it would be cool. I just have to find them and take a picture of them. But unfortunately, again, the game does it pretty automatically. It just shows you, hey, stupid, this is what you got to take a picture of. Okay, right. So let's go to our PDA, let's go to the camera, and if you're, you know, when you point it towards something you need to take a picture of, there we go, it, well, does the focus sound effect. You take a picture, and that's it. So, task completed. And there's another one over there, or maybe that was the same one, so we don't need to take another picture. So, a bit of a disappointment there, with both the, you know, finding plants, which, of course, is just a side mission, but mainly because of the automated identifying of items. But yeah, the maps look fairly pretty. I don't mind that at all. And the music. Now, the developer has already said that they will be patching the game to change some things. I don't know, they'll probably... they're listening to the community, to the press, you know, to all the comments about the game. And hopefully they'll be supporting it for a while yet, because I think it has quite a bit of potential as a casual game. It would just need a pretty big overhaul of the identifying mechanic to make it a bit more challenging and a bit more interesting. There we go, another thing. So this is basically what you do the entire game. You walk around and you look for items, you dig them up by waiting for the slow animation. The hole that the guy digs is pretty cool. It looks fairly nice. You know, it removes the grass around it and everything. It looks pretty cool, but unfortunately it does go away after you take an item. So for example, identify this, 16, and it's gone. I was like, oh man, that would be cool if I were to come back and see all these holes, and hopefully, you know, the park ranger wouldn't find me because they would go mad about us making all these holes everywhere. Now here's another thing. This is a pretty level surface over here, so digging stuff up is not that much of a big deal. But in one of the places I was before, it was horrendously annoying when I found something and I wanted to dig for it, and I couldn't because I think these are blacksmith tongs. And I couldn't because it said cannot dig from this location, and that will happen more often than it shouldn't, because the game will think that you're at, you know, on some kind of a weird slope, and it'll just not allow you to actually dig for the item. So you'll have to reposition yourself in a, you know, different way, find the item again, and then dig for it again. So a bit annoying that way. And like I said, a few times the items were so bugged that no matter where I went, I just couldn't find them. Is this a cowbell? Please don't be a cowbell. I found so many bloody cowbells already. No, it's another one of these blades. Now this is another complaint people had. There's too many of the same item, and I do tend to agree. It would be nice to have more of a variety, and I think they're working on that. Wow, that is quite pretty. I do have to admit that. I would have done a preview of this many days ago, but unfortunately I was a little bit sick, and so I apologize about that to both the developer, you know, who sent me the key, and you, my dear viewers. I usually like to do previews before the games are actually released into early access or, you know, full release or whatever. Not this time, however. But, you know, the comments from people that did buy the game do confirm my complaints as well, and observations. The game looks very pretty. It sounds pretty. It's pretty casual, but the identifying mechanic and all of that is a little bit lacking. I think there's another area we haven't been to yet. It's over here. Now, I want to talk about the find the fastest route type of mission in the game. Horrendously annoying. I know I've used many similar phrases now all of the time, but it is very annoying. It is. I hate those missions. In fact, I haven't even tried them after the first one. Oh, this is one of them. So what happens is you touch this map. It says time trial. You have entered the time trial start area. If you would like to start the time trial now, press yes. Otherwise, press no. You can start this trial later by entering this area again. Would you like to start now? It's like, I don't remember what I have to do. No. So there you then you have to go back to this, to jobs, and to the castle path. Okay, find the fastest route through the castle. What? Okay, where? It's a huge issue. The game is horrendous, very, very ambiguous about what it means. So the only way, when you're doing this for the first time, to know where the bloody heck you're supposed to go, is to run like crazy and try to find the other flag that will only appear if you actually accept this trial. So, you go into this, press yes, and you only have, I think, like 50 seconds for each of these to try and find the fastest route, which basically means just run there. It's just pointless. I don't like it. I know they tried to, you know, give you a few different things. What was that? A lookout point. Well, you found the lookout point. So I'm assuming the other flag would be somewhere over there, because it said through the castle, right? Where is it? Oh, I only have 30 seconds for this one. Thanks. So now the other flag is gone, and I have no idea where I was supposed to go. It's just why? Why is this needed? Ugh. Anyway, let's take a picture of this. Bring up the camera. You know, I always feel bad when I say bad things about a game, because it's just like, I don't know, it's just like kicking someone's puppy. You know, they've poured their work and love into it and everything, and then you come out having not touched the thing, you know, just criticizing it. But it's just, well, that's life. Life sucks. So anyway, wow, a morning star. That should bring a nice amount of money. So here's my another complaint. How is this ruined morning star only $20? I mean, it's a bloody morning star, an original weapon. It's not a replica or anything. And it's $20. That should definitely be worth more. Which brings me to another point. When you get this, you know, metal detector that allows you to find large items, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna find items worth like $100 or more bucks each. And no, it was like $5 more per item. It's just no. What? Why? That's not it. Or maybe I should have gone through here for the time trial. Anyway, wait. Is it? Let me see. Yes. So I only have 30 seconds to do this. You could probably notice that I haven't toggled off my run once yet, which you'll be doing as well. You will never be walking in this game. And when we find the toggle run, you'll never turn it off, really. There it is. So there we go. We've done it, and that was it. It's so pointless. I don't like that. I think this is another thing. Look at that. That's quite nice. This This is another place where they should have done it a little bit more hardcore. Give you a mission to, like, explore the ruins and, I don't know, find reference something, the architecture or blah blah blah, you know, something that engages you, not just, oh, keep running and it's horrible because I don't even know where I'm running to. So anyway, when you're done, you can return to the office. Of course, you have to remember that every time you travel somewhere, it does actually cost you money, which means that if you don't find enough money, well, thanks to all the findings, your prestige level has increased. Oh, wow. We've actually gone a full level up, which means that we can buy the this detector, which will be much nicer. There we go. And we can go to the email, and we've got the good morning. We would like to inform you that we have been approached by the British National Museum about your activity. We consider this the next step in completing the inheritance requirements. The British National Museum is the last major contact from Sir Richard's list. Yeah, it's kind of a weird story. You've got inheritance, but apparently you only get it if you do, you know, treasure hunting. So I'm assuming that your late predecessor wanted you to become a treasure hunter, and only then will you be, you know, good enough to get his inheritance, I suppose. So anyway, take a photo of the village. Oh, good. Which, here's the thing. It has proven to be, if you're still interested in working with the British National Museum, we're looking for a skilled photographer to take a clean and high quality photo of the old village near the lake. They already have a photo. I suppose it's not clean and high quality enough, but it's just, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, you'll keep getting these recycled missions. Take a photo of plans, find items, and run. And try to find the other thing. So, do I recommend it? Maybe on a sale if you want a really, really casual game. But I would wait until they patch it and make it a little bit more interesting, to be honest. So, for example, now I'm selling these things, which apparently there's no repercussion for selling all of this. You know, priceless stuff like a Morning Star, except the actual priceless things like the sword, the musket, the Pickelhaube, which apparently, you know, are in such good condition. I don't even know how you could find an item buried underground in this condition. This looks mint. And I'm assuming that these will be what you have to give to the museum later on to actually get the inheritance fund. But anyway, yeah, you do this, you buy new detectors, you do more missions. The maps are very pretty, I'll give it that. They're quite pretty, fairly varied. I believe you also go to like Africa and stuff, you know, some sandy places later on, which should be quite cool. But apart from that's that. So anyway, this was a look at Treasure Hunter Simulator. I'll put the link down below if you want to check it out. And yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my Patreon in the meantime, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.